Hey Eurovision fam, it's Alesia and Michelle. Today is really exciting because this is another one of our Eurovision 2022 discussion pieces. And honestly, this is us as a fandom coming together truly to put these countries on notice and tell them, we love you. We want to see you do well, and we're going to need that staging to deliver. Hey, what, Eurovision 2022, I got a new video, Alesia, Michelle, I'm ready to go. Eurovision fam, are you ready for the show? Hey, if you've never been to my channel before, welcome! I'm working really hard to become every European's favorite American Eurovision fan. I'm working really hard. So if you love the Eurovision Song Contest, this is your moment to like this video and to subscribe because you want to be a part of these conversations. You want to see your tweets show up in the video. You want your voice to be heard. And that's the thing about this channel. Here, yes, here. That can happen. Honestly, ever since I started my channel, I've been all about having conversations and sort of asking different questions so that we can have these conversations. I feel like we have done just that. We have so many amazing conversations over here, live streams too, where we can kind of talk in the moment, not just sort of these retroactive conversations, so to speak, retroactive conversations that happen on Twitter. But I'm really excited to get into this. I have been the girl that is always, I think, kind of nitpicky talking about staging to the point where some of y'all get annoyed with me because you're like,
it doesn't matter that much.
But I'm sorry, I am still gonna stand on this hill that staging matters. Now, of course, could a bad song win a song contest just on staging alone? No. But can a mediocre song be elevated by staging enough to win Eurovision? I'm gonna say yes. So basically what that tells us is that staging really can make a difference. And I will say, I saw a tweet the other day on Twitter, and I can't remember who tweeted it, so I apologize in advance. But they sort of were like, it's so interesting because a lot of people are talking about shock qualifiers. And I did ask that question, kind of what could shock non-qualify and things like that. But I think the key thing is, I think a lot of folks are thinking, well, not thinking, I think a lot of folks really are forgetting how much of an impact that staging can make. So a lot of times when you hear people talking about songs with winner potential, a lot of times those are the songs that we've kind of already seen a little bit of the staging for. So I think it makes people feel more comfortable saying, oh yes, this is my winner, because it's we've already seen it. Whereas then on the other hand, you'll have people who are like, oh, this is totally gonna win. And people are like, are you kidding me? We don't know what that's gonna look like on stage. We know entries like that have struggled in the past. So it's not so much people are saying, ew, how could you like that song? But people are kind of saying, hey, let's not forget that 50% of Eurovision, I say this, people might disagree. They might say 25%, but I'm gonna go ahead and say 50% of Eurovision is the song, the quality, just how people are able to connect with it. Is it a song that kind of the masses can latch on to, identify with in the moment? Because let's be real, there have been songs that were winner potential and worthy winners, but it just wasn't matching the mood that folks were in, and that's real. But then the other 50%, I'm saying 50%, you might say 25, some people might say it doesn't matter at all and it's 0%, but those people would be wrong. The other 50% of Eurovision really is how you take that amazing song and translate it on the stage. So I had to ask the question, who we thought was more likely to let us down when it comes to the staging. And honestly, I got a ton of responses. I got a ton of responses, really interesting responses. I'm just gonna name some countries that people threw out there that I was kind of huh? So so these didn't have a ton of votes, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. I saw Cyprus up here mentioned and the Netherlands, and I'm it's been a really long time since the Netherlands has truly jacked up the staging to hurt the entry, and I think Steen has a lot of momentum, and we've already seen a live performance from her, and it was pretty good. So even if they just did what they did on that television show, I think they would be fine. So I was a little bit Netherlands, really? Come on, y'all. I think the last time the Netherlands really jacked up the staging was, 2018? And even then, they didn't jack it up that bad to where it was unable to come like top 10. You know what I mean? Like, it's still, the song still popped. People were still into it. Also, Cyprus was mentioned. And yeah, I just am like, Cyprus has been consistently giving us great staging. So I don't know. I think maybe they were nervous because it's like, oh, well, this genre of music might be hard to stage. So I could vibe to that. But I think it's okay to put your faith in Cyprus doing it up big. I saw some people mention France. I saw Malta in the mix. I saw Croatia mentioned once. Lithuania, Estonia, Moldova. I have to say, seeing Moldova mentioned, I was like, yeah, no, Moldova, they can do it with the staging. Although I would have liked a different staging package for Sugar last year, the staging package they used was good enough. It was good enough, so I don't have worries about that. Someone said, yeah, Switzerland, which I'm like, Switzerland has been giving us great staging, so, I've got faith in Switzerland. And then someone even mentioned Israel. I was like, we already have that X Factor performance of Israel, and I thought that was fine and impactful. I thought that was somewhat of a ready-made package, so I'm not worried for them. But all right, let's get to our official list of the countries that we feel like are most likely to let us down with the staging. Now, this is not mean-spirited. This is basically people just like, please, don't let us down. We want to see this do well. So I don't think that this was mean-spirited at all. I think that this is people who are kind of like, okay, and all of these delegations need to perk up their ears and make sure that they're investing. There's still time. Okay? There's still time to turn it around. We're going to start from the lower tier to the country that most has people worried. And so we're starting out with Poland, which I'm not going to lie, like, I actually think I have faith in Poland to stage this. I also feel that I mentioned this in a couple of the live streams that I've done. This stage almost feels tailor-made for Poland. So I'm not gonna lie, I've got faith in Poland when it comes to staging this. But I think what it is there's a lot of hype around the song. I think people really like it. Let's be real, Poland hasn't had the best track record with staging. I think their track record, it's fair to say, has been a little bit spotty. They haven't been, a Belgium or North Macedonia, which, let's be fair, Belgium definitely has a bad track record when it comes to staging, but luckily Hooverphonic was in the mix last year, so we didn't have no problems with the staging last year. And then with North Macedonia, I actually think that they've been on a nice trajectory ever since 2019. So I want to put some hope and put some faith in them. And yeah, with Poland, I think what it is, there's definitely a lot of hype and love for Poland's entry, and people are, I think rightfully so, nervous that what happens if they're unable to translate this song to the stage. Again, I think that Poland has their act together this year. I don't know, but I've got an itch that tells me they'll have their act together this year and we will get a decent staging package. Fingers crossed. Next up, and I was not surprised to see this entry here at all, it's Ireland. Ireland had a ton of mentions, and I think for good reason. It's interesting because I actually think what's been hurting Ireland lately has actually been more of the songs than the actual staging. I know last year I was a really big fan of Maps, and I actually liked that they were going for it with the staging. I liked that they were taking a risk with the staging, but ultimately I just think not as many people connected with the song as I did. I don't think the staging ruined the song because, let's be real. I think that the juries, if the song maybe was stronger in the eyes of the juries, they would have given it more points. I already have a staging package in mind for Ireland, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like my girl Brooke has already been teasing me with the staging package that I have been kind of asking for and just manifesting out there in the world. I really, really like this entry. I really, really want to see it advance. And I I would almost be okay with it not advancing if the staging was together, the vocal was together. Because here's the thing with Ireland this year, the song is there, the track is there, it is current. So yeah, I think Ireland's nervousness is the fact that I think there have been some packages that people have been nervous about, and I think a lot of people really liked Maps last year. I think ultimately, because we've already got that 50% of this song being good, and it is in a really, really tough semi. I mean, the deck is stacked against Ireland in this semi, but with a nice, well thought out, well executed, not messy, very clean, very modern staging package that is a la Maddie from Euphoria, the TV show. I feel like if it doesn't make it through, at least we know that we pulled out all the stops and that perhaps this just ended up squeaking its way out and maybe it was a tight race. I would be okay with Ireland having a Croatia 2021 moment if we know, we've done our part. Because like with Croatia 2021, I'll be honest, I don't think the song is as strong as what Ireland is giving us this year, but I think where it lacked, the staging and the execution of the song was so clean. But I am hoping that with Ireland, since we've got that song that just feels so current, and we could potentially have a staging package that feels so current, I really, really want to see it advance. Okay, I really want to see it advance, but I totally understand why people are nervous about Ireland. I do think Ireland, more often than not, has actually been good with the staging. I think Ireland's recent lack of success at Eurovision has come down more so to the song, but we'll see. Fingers crossed, prayers up. Now, I gotta say, Poland and Ireland were sort of close to each other, but then with our top three staging fears, countries that we think are most likely to let us down with the staging, there was like a big gap. I just want to throw it out there. So we're now into our top three and we're moving on to the UK. I'm not surprised to see this here. Let's be real. I don't know what the BBC was thinking last year with the staging package for Embers. Embers was such a current song. Now, to be fair, I think that James's vocal was not where it needed to be when it came to delivering the song live, but baby, them two horns and the dancers with the brass section and those slow, lazy camera swipes and pans across the stage as if this was some ballad did not help. So yeah, the UK, you've got a good song this year. You've got a performer who is going to be able to vocally deliver this on the stage. I am speaking it into existence. I am speaking it into existence that our singer, our vocalist is going to deliver on the stage vocally. I know it's going to happen. I believe it. So now we need y'all, BBC, to do your homework and your part. And that is to give this a thoughtful, modern staging package a la something from the Brit Awards or the Grammys. It's not hard. It's not hard. The song is already there. Look, I don't want to see no spaceships. Now, I don't mind a starry sky. I don't mind a starry sky. I don't want him in a leather jacket. I want him to look modern and I want him to look comfortable. Just keep it simple. Make it thoughtful. And always remember that camera angles and lighting are free. Next up, we've got Greece. And I think I wasn't surprised to see Greece mentioned. But I was surprised that it was so high. I think this is a testament to the fact that people are really loving this song and people want to see it advance and do well. And let's be real, the person who is staging this is known to do a lot. And I think that this is a song that doesn't need a lot. Yes, we want something beautiful. Yes, it's nice to have something innovative, but this song is beautiful. It doesn't need a lot. It needs something, but it doesn't need everything. You hear that? It needs something. It needs something for us to latch on to, visually connect with our singer, visually stick out in our minds, but it does not need everything. Okay? So Greece, please listen to the people. Y'all have a shot this year. You have a shot to really make a real impact on the stage. And the staging could hurt it. You know what I'm saying? So let's be thoughtful about that. And in the top slot of the country that we think will let us down the most when it comes to the staging is Austria. And this is really nothing about Austria's track record, because I actually think that Austria has been doing very, very good staging packages for Eurovision, point blank. I think that Austria has been putting together quality stage packages that have been memorable and giving us visual moments. But let's be real, these DJ songs have been struggling. And the problem is it's difficult to kind of translate that club fun vibe energy to the stage. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a huge fan of Israel's staging last year. Like, I just think I would have probably done some different things. But what they did really well was they were able to sort of bring the energy of the song. And honestly, I think they even amped up the energy from the song in the way that it was translated to the stage. And this is what Austria has to do. And it's not easy. Again, we have seen so many countries falter. Darude faltered. Poland 2018 faltered. Poland with Light Me Up, Light Me Up. We didn't have the party on stage that we needed. And that's the challenge of Austria's. I think that actually is right. That Austria probably has the biggest challenge ahead of themselves. I think more countries need to realize that, like, having a DJ act on stage might be a little bit more difficult, and it's just, I don't think that we have seen it perfected. And the few times we've been able to see it perfected is when our singer is really a dancer. And in the music video, I wasn't seeing Pia doing choreography, so that's slightly concerning. And then sometimes it can look forced, and sometimes it can read cheesy when we sort of have our singer not really doing choreography, but then dancers around them. It just, I think that Austria has a really good song this year, and a song that a lot of people like, but I could easily see this song not making it out of the semi because they don't translate that energy and that fun and that spunk to the entry on stage. And not just on stage, but how it is then perceived on camera. Please do not have a whole bunch of arena shots. I think that would be the first big mistake, would be a whole bunch of arena shots, sweeping shots of the stage that will no doubt look empty. Oh, I'm worried. I am with everyone on the concern with Austria. But here, we did this video. Now they've heard us. So Poland, Ireland, Greece, UK, Austria, you've been put on notice. We're rooting for you. We want you to do well. Now make sure we invest in that staging package and get real thoughtful about how we want to translate these songs to the stage. All right, well, these were the songs that were called out on Twitter that we're worried about when it comes to the staging. Who are you most concerned about when it comes to staging their entry for Eurovision 2022? Drop down and talk to me in the comments below, and not really just me. You know these delegations be up here in these videos, so this is your moment. Come on, give them some ideas. You want to have the most competitive Eurovision ever, and staging is a part of that. So drop down and talk in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. I am so excited for Eurovision 2022. Bye.